This video and others like it are funded by viewers like you. Thanks for your support.
This is the latest news from Medellin Colombia and Colombia as a whole. Let's jump into it. Follow along.
You're watching DC-born Rob, erasing borders. And now, the news.
Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're located. Thanks for watching. You're watching DC-born Rob, erasing borders. I'm DC Rob. I have a few good stories for you today. Make sure you stay around to the end. At the end, I'm actually going to read a story, a brief letter from one of you guys. This is the type of email I like getting. So let's just jump into this first story. Regarding the robbery and shootout with the police officers that was reported on our last video, another one of the alleged thieves was actually caught. The subject must respond to the Attorney General's office for 4 crimes, such as deletion, carrying weapons, and others. Through a court order issued by the prosecutor's office, one of the alleged thieves of the building in Laureles was captured on May 1st, as well as the seizure of the vehicle in which they traveled. The white Mazda 2 vehicle with IEV 737 plates was seized at the location of the capture. In addition, a cell phone that was used in the subject's possession was seized. For its part, the capture of John Stephen C. was achieved through the coordination of the prosecutor's office 246 section and the police. There you go. In U.S. Colombian news, Colombian President Gustavo Petro faced criticism from the U.S. for his stance on Israel's attack in Gaza, with the accusations of crossing a line into anti-Semitism. This came during a hearing on growing anti-Semitism in Latin America, led by U.S. Special Envoy Deborah Lipstadt. Lipstadt expressed concern that Petro's comments were not conducive to peace and stability, particularly his decision to recall ambassadors in protest. In response, Petro alerted that Colombia's foreign policy is independent of the U.S. and emphasized the need to address humanitarian concerns in Palestine, dismissing the accusations of anti-Semitism as an expression of humanity. There you go. Meanwhile, back in Poblado, things are still nutty. Neighbors of a foreigner in El Poblado are bored with his parties that last for days and half-naked women in full view of the entire residential unit. The complaint was made on social networks by former Congressman Jose Obdulio Javier. Through his X account, the former senator of the Democratic Center, Jose Obdulio Javier, exposed the situation that afflicts the neighbors of a foreigner in El Poblado in Medellin. This is a citizen of Russian origin who lives in an apartment in the Malaga building where multiple women come to visit at all hours of the day to participate in long parties, even exposing themselves half-naked in the common areas of the complex, just as it was recorded in a recent video in which 2 women walk in a towel through the parking lot, and one of them shows her body in a bathing suit, saying that they should record it as well. The former senator wrote the following on his X account: "Tragedy of residents in the El Poblado building. Subject, foreigner, boarded his apartment and no one had peace and quiet again. Musical noise or loud music, illicit things, orgies, unbridled shouting, pool parties. The community asked for help and guidance on what to do," said the former senator. Some of the users who commented on the publication added videos in which the man argues with the neighbors, and others point out that the situation has been brought to the attention of the authorities, but they never take action on the matter. Okay, let's go from Poblado to Cartagena. An Italian tourist, Luigi Mucuro, experienced a harrowing incident while visiting Cartagena, Colombia. Entranced by the city's colonial charm and rich history, Mucuro's trip took a dark turn when he fell victim to a violent robbery. The ordeal unfolded on Friday night at the nightclub in Cartagena's historic center, where Mucuro intended to unwind and enjoy the local scene. According to Mucuro's account, he was approached by 2 strangers who offered him a drink. Trusting their gesture, he accepted the beverage, unaware that it was laced with an unknown substance. Shortly afterwards, Mucuro found himself disoriented and unable to recall what happened next. The next thing Mucuro remembers was waking up on the street, stripped of his possessions. His attackers had not only stolen a gold chain, a watch with sentimental value, and a substantial amount of cash, but also they physically assaulted him. In his distressed state, Mucuro sought medical attention but faced challenges in receiving adequate care. Okay, let's go from there. Let's jump into some travel news. Over a dozen lawmakers have vocalized opposition to the adoption of facial recognition technology at U.S. airports. A group of U.S. senators on Thursday pushed to restrict the use of facial recognition in airports, an effort that comes as more than 80 U.S. airports use the biometric technology with plans for expansion to more than 400. This technology poses significant threats to our privacy and civil liberties, and Congress should prohibit its TSA's development and deployment of facial recognition tools until rigorous congressional oversight occurs, said the letter to Senate leadership. The senators, Republicans and Democrats, want to add restrictions to the bill to authorize funding for the FAA, which is currently being debated in Congress. TSA says the technology enhances security and improves traveler convenience. Some American airlines have partnered with TSA to use biometric data to make it easier for travelers to move through airports. Delta partnered with TSA to develop digital ID program that allows travelers to use biometrics to get through bag drop screening and check-in without a physical ID. Senators warn of surveillance risk. The senators warn of a slippery slope. Once Americans become comfortable with government facial recognition scans at airports, the government could expand surveillance, say tracking entry into public property like parks, the letter said. The group of lawmakers also argued that biometric technology doesn't make air travel safer. Lawmakers said TSA doesn't have evidence that it has caught more travelers using fake IDs thanks to their facial recognition technology. Okay, more in travel news to Airbnb. Airbnb dives into pop culture with a new home and experiences category called Icons. Airbnb's new celebrity-driven icons category of experiences will trigger housefuls of free publicity. Airbnb's CEO Brian Chesky has frequently mentioned the creative ways the brand has tried to stay top of mind beyond traditional advertising. This includes its Barbie house, which attracted the 250 million views on social media last year. On Wednesday, Airbnb went further with the launch of an attention-grabbing category of experiences and stays called Icons. Through the Airbnb app, consumers will be able to vie to hang out with Kevin Hart and his entourage and his secret speakeasy, or spend the night in Prince's Purple Rain house in Minneapolis. There are 11 icons at launch. 2 of them are stays inside Disney and Pixar's Up House and the headquarters of their flick Inside Out 2. There's also a chance to take a living room performance by Grammy Award winner Doja Cat and going on a week-long tour with reggaeton star Faye. Most of the icons will be available for free, and the rest will go for less than $100 per guest, said Airbnb. Airbnb plans to make 4,000 tickets to these icons available in 2024. Selected guests need to verify their identity and may have to undergo background checks due to security concerns, says Jay Carney, who heads Airbnb's global policy communications and crisis management teams. There you go. Airbnb is trying. Okay, so let me end on this short email that I received from one of you. This is the type of email that gets me going. Again, I don't do this for money. Obviously, I'm not making any money. I do this to help you guys be more informed when you go down. I encourage travel to anywhere. It doesn't matter. Another city, another state. Bro, just get in the car and drive. I mean, just see something. Have other experiences, and that's why I like travel. I like that sense of wonderment. But it says, "Hi, DC. I hope you're well. I made it back from Medellin safe and sound. Wow, you were right about how beautiful Medellin is. I had fun during my visit. I even extended my stay by 3 days. I plan to visit again, hopefully later this year. My interactions with the locals were good. I had no issues and everyone was nice. A few locals wanted to know why I was visiting, and I just replied during Guatapé and Comuna 13. Most just laughed and smiled. Andres was excellent as well. The driver was on time and dropped me off safe and sound. After spending time in Cartagena and Medellin, I agree that Medellin is a better city. I love being by the water in Cartagena, but the vendors and the beggars are just too much. What I loved about my stay in Medellin was that I felt at peace and relaxed. I spent time thinking about life and the next steps regarding my health and marriage." So there you go. I love Medellin. It's a magical place. Don't let the news stories get to you because you're watching the news. The news is going to have the latest news, and if it has to do with a foreigner and it's not positive, it's still the news. But Medellin is a beautiful place. If you just stay away from certain things, man, It's just absolutely beautiful. And if you're coming from certain states, like let's say up north, I don't know, Michigan, Detroit, somewhere Chicago, where, you know, it's still winter, there's no leaves on the trees, and you see that and it's tropical and you're hearing different birds you never heard before, man, it's a beautiful place. I still love Medellin. I hope to get back in the next month or so because I got to get my teeth worked on. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. You're now up to date with the latest news out of Medellin, Colombia, and Colombia as a whole. Remember to travel, but travel safe.
On behalf of the flight crew, thank you for flying with us and have a pleasant day.
Okay, hold on, guys. Right quick. If you need to have things shipped to Colombia, shipped to someone else, or shipped to yourself to Colombia from the United States, make sure you reach out to CaribbeanShipper.com. CaribbeanShipper.com. The contact information is coming next. Join me on social media. I am DC Born Rob Official on Instagram. I am DC Born Rob Official 1 on TikTok. I am DC Born Rob O on Twitter. Don't be like this guy right here.
You're just so stupid. I had to send you a video to let you know you're so stupid.
That's right. Don't be like this guy right here. Join me on social media. Headed to Medellin, Colombia? See my guy Andres with Nomad Travel for safe airport pickups and drop-offs and tours. Contact information in the description below. If you're in Medellin and you need dental work done, from a basic cleaning to major reconstructive surgery, come see my guy, Dr. Carlos Maury. Contact information in the description below.
Thanks for hitting like. You did the right thing by hitting like. Thanks for hitting like. Thanks for hitting like. DC Born Rob.